special guest to the 8th Annual Mesquite High School Lighthouse Awards. Out of approximately 2,700 students at MHS, today we are honoring 218 students as Lighthouse recipients. This award is encompassing in that it draws a wide range of students, a very diverse group of students. They are all unique in their own special ways. Some of you may be wondering why you're here and why we recognize you as a lighthouse. As you may know, a lighthouse is known as a beacon of light, and that's what you are to the person who selected you. Dwight L. Moody once said, "We are told to let our light shine, and if it does, we won't need to tell anybody it does." Lighthouses don't fire cannons to call attention to their shining, they just shine. As a result of your shining light, you sit here with us today. I would like to share a few comments as to why our faculty picked these students as lighthouses. One administrator shared, "On days where doing discipline got the best of me, her little smiling, perky face picked me up." A teacher shared that she picked her student because she always let me know how much she appreciates me. Another teacher said that his student has overcome much adversity to become one of our best students. And finally, one of our teachers explained that his lighthouse represents MHS to the highest of standards. Teachers, you may be wondering how the students feel about this honor, so let me share a few of the comments from the students you selected. They are as follows. "I was excited because if I had to choose a lighthouse, she'd be mine too. It is a wonderful feeling that someone picked me out of hundreds of kids as their lighthouse. This is like the best award that I have ever gotten in my life." And finally, "I felt special and that somebody had finally noticed me." And on that note, we, the faculty of MHS, would like to share a special message through song.
Such sad eyes. Take courage now and realize when this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can, just call me up because you know I'll be there. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true
True colors.
while our choir is having a seat. Let's give them another round of applause, please. We now would like to acknowledge all Lighthouse recipients. Mr. Hall has graciously pinch hit for us today as Mrs. Taylor is at jury duty. If we could, please turn the house lights up a bit. Lighthouse recipients, please stand and be recognized when called. Please hold your applause until all names are called.
Adam Tarver, Ariel Richard, Aldisha Garrett, Alex Baker, Alex Hernandez, Ali Musa, Alimatu Touré, Andres Mendoza, Angel Obedey, Angel Otero, Angelica Garcia, Anthony Gaitan, Anthony Maynard, Anthony Tinajero, Antoinisha Hilburn, Ariel Richardson, Ashley Hudspeth, Awadojan Faulkner, Benjamin Taylor, Berto Acosta, Brianna Martinez, Brenda Palacios, Brianna Spate, Brian Manley, Brianna Gomez, Brianna Timmons, Brittany Shelton, Calvin McCall, Candice Marroquin, Carissa Arreola, Carl Clemens, Danica Barb, Danielle Arroyo, Daniel Brown, Daniel Carpenter, Danielle Caro, Danielle McKinnon, Danielle Roquemore, Darren Love, David Osborne, Derek James, Devoya Jones, Diana Herrera, Dylan Burke, Edward Ramirez, Emmanuel Okafor, Eric Luna, Eric Reed Jr., Erica Range, Faith Taylor, Franz Adriansen, Freddie Guevara, Gabriel Sierra, Guillermo Cardenas, Gustavo Hernandez, Heather Pedraza, Hector Rodriguez, Ilse Almeida, Ivan Dino, Jacqueline Whitted, Jalissa Ray, Deborah Thomas, Jamie Brown, Janella Castillo, Jaquay Boyce, Jared Finney, Jasmine Celestine, Jason Okafor, Javante Wilson, Jalen Winters, Jasmine Hollis, Jennifer Covarrubias, Jerry Randall, Jessica Anna Main Skinner, Jessica Chimua, Jessica Rodriguez, Yeah. Jessica Taylor, Jesus Guerrero, Jesus Mendoza, Jimmy Samuel, Joanna Rendon Robledo, John Merriweather, Jonathan Winters, Junior Session, Joy Withers, Jonathan Dixon, Jontia Brown, Jordan Burdick, Jorge Angelito, Jose Maldonado, Jose Molina, Jose Morales, Jose Salas, Joseph Barowski, Joshua Fulton, Joshua Merriweather, Juan Aguilar, Juan Moreno III, Juan Ramirez Renteria, Juana Lopez Tristan, Julia Salinas, Julian Eddington, Julian Sanchez, Justice Spriggs, Caitlin Crouch, Kenneth Rivera, Kenya Arellano Lopez, Kevin Sanchez, Kevin Taylor, Keontae Washington, Kimberly Wright, Kyla Ritter, Kyle Harris, Kyle Jackson, Kylie Wolf, Lakaya Stelly, Lewan Usman, Layla Gully, Leonel A. Hernandez, Lindy Kennedy, Lorenzo Puente, Maisha Agee, Alex Frazier, Manuel Gomez, Marcos Rivas Suarez, Marcos Rodriguez, Marcus Petty, Jarrell Ellis, Marisela Mendoza Castillo, Marta Salazar, Marta Vázquez, Martín Valenzuela, Matt King, Matt Trillo, Matthew Peters, Megan Santillan, Michael Cobb, Michael Longley, Michelle Espinosa, Monica Dial, Monica Mathis, Nancy Perez, Nancy Requena, Nika, Ron Lopez, Quincy Payton, Reagan Redditz, Rocio Cervantes, Rohit Sam, Ronnie Jones, Sabrina King, Santos Lopez, Sarah Tanko, Savannah Watson, Selena Casas, Shakia Brooks, Shauna Matthew, Shelby Brown, Shelby Muyanix, Shelby Simmons, Sierra Moore, Simon Perry, Sonia Doak, Stephanie Summerfield, Sumele Beo,
who will present
Onyekwe, Victor Kaiser, Vidal Salazar, Vivian Rodriguez, William Frazier, Yvette Luna, Yuwande Bambosi, Imani Webster, Youssef Abu Ziedi, Jonivis Acuna, and Zamanda Davis.
Next on our program, we have 3 beacons of inspiration who will present not only their struggles, but their triumphs as well. Our first speaker will be introduced by Mr. Reynolds. Rutledge. I'm sorry, Mr. Rutledge.
Good afternoon. I'll start with this. Matthew 5:14-16 says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand and gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Santos was a student who sat uncomfortably close to my desk. Even though our desk was faced out across the class, I always saw his face turn around towards me. Let's just say I knew he was there, and he did not go unnoticed. As time passed, though, I was able to get to know him more. Santos shared all the stories with me, good stuff, and the tough times as well. Some of the things I was too familiar with, and other things weren't in my cards that he did have to deal with, and I was blessed not to go through such adversity. Santos was a standout student in my classroom. He was a stand-up guy every time I saw him outside of the class. Aside from the proximity in the class, I knew that this is the real reason why I noticed Santos. There's a verse that really exemplifies his actions and his turnaround that he had. Matthew 24:4-6 says, "Then Jesus said to his disciples, 'If anyone can come after me, he must deny himself and take his cross up and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for me will find it.'" From a young man somewhat living lost to that guy that carries the cross in the morning, Santos Lopez.
Well, my name is Santos Lopez, and pretty sure most of you guys know me, if not knew me in the past. And last year, sophomore year, I never really paid attention in school. I did do my work, but I wasn't really, listen to the teacher, always do my work in class, and when she tells me to do it, I kind of slacked off in class, and I would, try to know the teacher sometimes on purpose if, they got on my nerves, or, vice versa. And one example is Miss Gillenwater's class. I had her sophomore year, and I did not do my work in that classroom. I would just say things back to her all the time, and just do anything I could to get on her nerves. And another example, this is one of the years that I was at my lowest, and I'm kind of glad I had her in my class. Had her as a teacher was Miss Bell. I did everything I could to get on her nerves in that class. Like everything I could, like you guys cannot imagine. and of course I apologize for all of that now. And I've grown up since then. And Miss Scott's class was another one, which was this year at the beginning of the year. And at the beginning of the year, I actually had to retake her class because I didn't do my work in that class, and I would slack off and not pay attention and stuff. But in her class, I met somebody that they had a personal relationship with God, and then I knew of God, I just didn't know God in a personal way. And when I did start to talk to them, at first it's not that I didn't like them, it's just that we didn't get along. And they asked me to go to church one day, and I said yes, and I did, and after that day, my whole life changed. Like, everything turned around. I was friendlier, I paid attention more in class, and teachers noticed it. Friends that I used to have, they noticed it, they asked me, like, why I changed, and what happened to me, And I was always, before I went to church, I was always shy about what I did. And I wouldn't really do school activities because I was too, I was scared about what people would say about me. I was scared people would call me lame, or that, who does school activities, it's lame, stuff like that. And when I finally broke out of my shell after I went to church, I did all the school activities. I started thinking about my college because before I went to church and was on the right path, I didn't even think about what I was gonna do the next day, I just thought about all the moment, and that's it. But after that, college, it all just fell in my lap, and I was just so happy that all of this stuff was happening just because I started to pay attention more, just because I started to, listen, And then another thing that I started to do was hold the cross in front of the school. That was probably the toughest thing I had to do was hold the cross in front of the school, because everybody persecuted me, not everybody, but people persecuted me. They said that I was crazy because I did it friends told me why I did it, and it made me look like I was crazy, like a crazy kid, you know. But one thing that you have to learn young, which I realize even though I still am young, is that whatever you have in mind, pursue it. Don't let nobody destroy your dreams, and don't let nobody tell you you can't do it, because most people, or some people, are scared to do something because they're scared of what others are going to think, and you should never be scared of what others are going to think, ever. You know, you are your own person, you know. You were born by yourself. Nobody was there to help you be born except for your mom. And, you know, and another thing I have to say is, Happy Mother's Day, Mom. And the reason, I said that. Yeah. But life is all about taking chances and jumping all in. You know, you can't be like touching the puddle. You know, when you're a little kid, you jump in the puddles and splashing everywhere. You're supposed to be the same way when you're older. And life isn't measured about. Oh, sorry. Life isn't measured about all the breaths you take, but how many breathtaking moments you have. Everything you do now is important because you exchange a day of your life for it. And that's my speech.
Thank you, Santos. I have the honor of introducing our next speaker. Picking someone for my Lighthouse student is not always as easy for me as it was this year. From the beginning of school, Jaun Ramirez Renteria has inspired me. Jaun set a goal for himself in August, and he never strayed from it. To me, he symbolizes the words perseverance and dedication. Students like Jaun are why I love to teach. Jaun has been practicing his speech with other teachers, so when you guys hear it, it'll be the first time for me too. I've heard the other speeches and read them. But I hope you know, Jaun, how very proud I am of you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jaun Ramirez. And I am proud to say I'm graduating this year with the class of 2012. High school was fun and games for me until I came across a tax test. I was afraid of not being able to pass tax, especially the science tax test. The first time I took tax, I did not pass English or science. I wasn't surprised because I knew I wasn't ready. The second opportunity I had to take the English and science tax, I only passed the English. I was happy and disappointed at the same time. I had one more chance to pass the science tax to be able to graduate with the class of 2011. This put even more pressure on me because I was trying to pass English 3 and English 4 at the same time. The tax course came in and I found out that I did not pass. I felt sad and like an outsider because all of my friends were getting ready for graduation. I was still failing English 3 and English 4. This made me want to give up on school. My parents were upset because they were hoping I would be the first one graduate in the family. This gave me encouragement to stay in school one more year. I took the science tax in the summer before starting school again, and I still did not pass. When school started, I was put in Ms. Carruthers' tax prep class. I learned a lot with her. When tax testing came around, Ms. Carruthers and I both thought I was ready. But I did not pass. Even though I didn't pass, I was only 4 questions away. That was the closest score to passing that I had got. I felt better about myself because I did better than before. But I still needed to meet my goal. Ms. Carruthers and I got to working even more hard than before. Our hard work paid off the last time I took the tax. Thanks to Ms. Carruthers' patience and guidance, I overcame my biggest fear. I passed the science taxes. It was the best feeling ever. I have been passing all of my classes this year, and I will finally be able to graduate. I want to thank everyone who helped me, especially Ms. Carruthers. Anyone who knows me knows that I am very shy. But Ms. Carruthers showed me that with a lot of hard work and effort, anything is possible. That's why I'm here today on this stage to show you, Ms. Carruthers, that I am very thankful. And I am also thankful for my parents who never give up on me. Gracias, mamá y papá, por todo lo que han hecho por mí. Los quiero mucho. And thank you all for your attention.
Thank you, Juan. Our last speaker will be introduced by Mrs. O'Neill.
Good afternoon. It is with great joy and excitement that I introduce my Lighthouse student for 2012. I can first recall getting to know this student when she was a sophomore, and she probably doesn't even know that I remember this, but she was trying out as an officer for the cheer team. And I was one of the judges for these officer tryouts. And what I observed was that I saw a young lady who was full of spirit, spunk, and determination. And as she completes her final year of high school, she continues to exhibit those same qualities that just seems to draw others to her. I chose the student as my Lighthouse because although she has encountered some hurdles and hindrances in her young life that could have easily caused her to throw in the towel, she has resiliently stayed the course in her academics. She will not only succeed in graduating as a student with top honors, but also a student further determined to continue her studies by attending college and entering the medical field. Please join with me in receiving my Lighthouse student for 2012, Ms. Shelby Brown.
Hello. My name is Shelby Brown, and many of you know me as a student that is involved in everything within the school. I have been in many clubs and organizations like cheerleading since I was in 7th grade, National Honor Society, National Beta Club, Student Council, Student Leadership, FCA, Senior Leaders, Skeeters Achieving Volunteer Excellence, Special Olympics, Business Professionals America, Skeeter Scholar, Top 10%, and I even managed to finish number 10 in my class out of a class of 538 students. But as you can see all this success, many people don't realize that when I was 8, I suffered the loss of my mother. In 2000, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and even though this was a life-changing event for my family, my brother and I were still able to have a wonderful childhood. My mom died 2 years later in 2002, and I was not only supported by my family and friends, but also by MISD and their staff. In 2002, I was going into the 3rd grade without something that many of the kids in my class had, and that was a mom. On my dad's behalf, he tried his best to keep everything for me and my brother as normal as possible, so we would not become sadder than we already were. In doing this, I feel that he helped my feelings and also my academics succeed because my dad never let us settle into the fact that we were in a one-parent home. He stepped up to the plate, becoming both the mom and the dad for my brother and I. My granny also stepped in to become the mother figure in my life. As my dad worked nights, she came in and helped keep my house clean and make my brother do our homework and make sure we got 3 meals a day. My brother and I, from our perspective, turned out to be great kids, even though we lost something so special to us. But it wouldn't have been possible without the support system of my dad, my granny, and God. For me to get to this point of success took a long time. Losing a mother is not easy, but my life is an example of the many trials and tribulations that teens in this room go through. I've came a long way in order to be the best that I can be. I have learned to stand out and press forward through different obstacles that present themselves, but I couldn't have done this alone. I've had the help of God, my family, my friends, my teachers, and not only to mention the best dad ever. My senior year has been long, but I feel that this year has not made not only me, but all the senior class strong because we have been faced with so many difficulties during our last year in high school. I couldn't have gotten through this year without the help of one of the best counselors on this campus, Ms. O'Neill, who selected me as her lighthouse. She made applying for and getting into college and receiving scholarships so easy. To get to this place now, it took hard work and dedication, not giving up, though sometimes my world seems like it's about to end. Like, for example, when I got my first C in pre-calculus, Mr. Rashid's class. I thought everything that I had worked for was over, and I thought my GPA and rank would plummet to the ground. But Mr. Rashid and Ms. O'Neill reassured me that it was okay, and it wouldn't hurt me that bad if I do well in my other classes. I also got here by not doing things on my own. I had to learn that I can't hold the entire world on my shoulders because no one is in this world alone. But I also got here by letting the small and petty things go and focusing on the bigger and brighter things of the future. Though I have a long way to go before I become an adult with responsibility and a career, I think that my dad, my teachers, and my counselor, Ms. O'Neill, have prepared me for the next couple of years at Texas A&M and College Station. We in this room are the upcoming generation that is going to work hard and grind for what we want in life. And I just want to let the students that are going through hard times in their life know that though life may seem hard, you can get through it. Just realize that hardships and troubles will always present themselves, especially when we are doing something right. We are all living life, and though we may make mistakes, we all want success, and I'm just one example of the many success stories in this room. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelby. Let's give these three students another round of applause. We appreciate their willingness to share their stories with us today. Next, we will have our scholarship presentation by Ms. Williams.
Two senior Lighthouse students have been selected to each receive a $500 scholarship. Our first recipient has maintained a high GPA while taking higher level courses and exemplified leadership skills while participating in various organizations and extracurricular activities. According to his teachers, he will be the type of person who will conquer every one of his goals. He does whatever is asked of him with a smile, and he has consistently demonstrated exceptional intelligence, leadership ability, integrity, initiative, and high moral character. He says that teachers and friends of MHS should remember him for his kind heart and distinct work ethics. Please join me in congratulating Pasi Omewade. Our next recipient is also a very well-rounded student. She has also maintained a quite competitive GPA while continuing to take a rigorous and academically demanding course load. According to her teacher, she approaches each task with the focus and diligence necessary to succeed. She has a positive attitude that will propel her through her toughest challenges. She is a very motivated and dedicated student with a personality that lights up a room and a congenial, approachable spirit that sets others at ease and can only be described as contagious. She hopes to leave a legacy at MHS as someone who puts their heart and soul into everything she does, as well as one whose passion and determination drives her. Please join me in congratulating Ariel Richardson.
We now have a special presentation for our 2012 Staff Lighthouse Award. Please welcome our 2011 Staff Award winner, Mrs. Nancy Hill.
Okay, I'm going to do something a little bit different this year. I don't know why we would, but anyway. What I did, I have the honor of presenting the Lighthouse for the faculty Lighthouse member today. And what I did, I kind of randomly selected some students. You may be in here today, I don't know. And I told you that I was working on a project, and I just wrote down a whole lot of teachers. And I said, just give me one word that describes each teacher that I'm going to give you. If you've never had them, you don't have to give me anything. And they said, oh, okay. They never asked me about a project. I have not been working on a project. Just wanted to let y'all know. So, but as part of the faculty, the teachers here should really, really take notice in some of the words, some of the descriptions. I was really surprised, and I'm just going to say a few. Spontaneous, vibrant, crazy, dedicated, beautiful, awesome, goofy, talented, and there was one teacher every single time I asked, and give me one word that describes this teacher. Oh, Miss Hill, she's so sweet. Oh, Miss Hill, she's just amazing. Oh, Miss Hill, she's so sweet. I promise you, in about 30 minutes, I had about 6 sweets. So, it is my pleasure to let you know who the new Lighthouse recipient is today. She's been teaching English. She's been at this school for 17 years. So please welcome Miss Pam Carr.
At this time, would all of our Lighthouse recipients and our faculty please stand? Faculty members, please present your student with their photo, Lighthouse pin, and certificate in recognition of being a 2012 Mesquite High School Lighthouse student.
Proud of you. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of you Lighthouse recipients. As we get to the end of our program, we will have a few words from our principal, Mrs. Sterrett.
Could I have all the Lighthouse recipients stand for just a moment? So I want to speak to you for just a moment. So if you could just face forward and keep standing for just a minute. Oh. You've been chosen by a staff member because you made a huge impact on their life this year or multiple years that you've been on this campus. Your mark at MHS will not be in just the area of academics or extracurricular success. Your mark is one that will be impressed on the hearts of all the teachers and staff at MHS. Go forth today and take advantage of that fact, because of who you are makes a difference. Not what you've done, but because of who you are. Yesterday, Mesquite High School lost a graduate from the class of 2010. Blake was also a Lighthouse student. He was a recipient just like you. His imprint had been left on many hearts of those here on this campus, student and faculty alike. So I encourage you to understand the fact that even beyond your graduation, just as Blake, you are important to us. You're a Skeeter now, and you'll always be a Skeeter. So as you move on from today to continue to be a lighthouse or a beacon of light to those around you, I want you to know that every encounter that you have is important. Every relationship that you make is worth the time spent. And every memory that you have will be etched on the minds of those that you love. Students, sometimes lights come from lighthouses, from those that are through electricity or sparks of fire or flames. But there are also times that lights are a reflection of like the moon to the sun. And if you look around, there are many teachers and parents